everyone, and welcome to this episode of Libby's Low Carb Lounge. This really is a truly simple recipe that tastes fantastic. So, how do we make this? Let's take a look. First off, let's talk about what is keto anyway. We're calling these keto haystacks. Well, what does keto mean? Well, keto refers to the ketogenic diet. The ketogenic way of eating is simply eating low enough in carbohydrates, which for most people is below 50 grams of total carbohydrates per day. If you're diabetic, somewhat less. But basically, you're eating low enough to where your body is no longer burning carbohydrates for fuel, but is now burning fat for fuel, which is a great way to lose weight. And if you have diabetes or metabolic syndrome or other health problems such as epilepsy and other things, living in the ketogenic state will keep your body burning fat. So most people who adopt this way of living, and I'm one of them, really have a lot more energy. You've got a lot of benefits when you live this diet. Well, one thing you miss in this diet is sweets, because if you're eating less than 50 grams of carbohydrates a day, that's pretty limiting. Well, making keto treats, or keto fudges, or in this case keto haystacks, is a nice way to have sweet treats that are not made with sugar, that are basically very, very low in carbohydrates. And that's what we're going to learn to do today. When you are in a keto diet and you're eating ketogenic foods, then you're primarily using low enough carbs to burn fat for fuel, not carbs. So if you live in the ketogenic state by eating a ketogenic diet, meaning under 50 carbs a day, you develop a body that is a fat-burning machine with a whole lot of benefits. And so this is a little treat that you can have while you're living that lifestyle. Just to remind you, traditional haystacks have, at least on one of the nutrition facts that I could find, of course these facts vary depending on size, and the serving size for this particular traditional haystack is a little over an ounce, and most of them are 2 or 3 times that when you buy them in a store. But basically, for a little over an ounce size, that would be 23.9 total carbs, 1 of fiber, so 22.9 carbohydrates per small haystack. These keto haystacks have 6.9 total, and you could subtract the sugars because we're using erythritol and dietary fiber. So this weighs in at 0.1 grams of carbohydrates per 20 gram square, and we're going to show you what that looks like. All right, let's make some haystacks. First off, we're going to start out with very simple ingredients. Here you see in front of you coconut oil, unsweetened cocoa powder, coconut flakes, and shredded coconut, both that are unsweetened. Let's Do Organic is a great brand you can often find at Whole Foods and other, even some regular grocery stores. I use Himalayan sea salt, the pink sea salt, and erythritol is the sweetener, which is a sugar alcohol. It acts like sugar, tastes like sugar in many ways, but it has 0.6 calories per teaspoon, very, very low in calories and carbs. And you see crushed up there, instead of peanuts, which you could also use in this, I use a little bit of textured vegetable protein, which is roasted soy nuts that have been basically chopped up. Because I like the crunch. You can completely omit that step if you are not a fan of soy for your own personal reasons. So first off, we're going to take a cup of coconut oil, and that is the main ingredient in just about any kind of keto fudge or keto recipe, because the majority you want to be fat, and this particular fat, coconut oil, is the binding agent. You put that along with the sweetener in a saucepan over medium heat, and you start to heat that up. And as you do, you will see that the erythritol the crystals will melt, as well as the coconut oil. Then you want to add the unsweetened cocoa to the pan and mix it in well. Okay, you can see that we've mixed everything together. The crystals have melted, the coconut oil is melted, and unlike regular fudge, where you're trying to reach a softball stage with sugar, which takes 20-30 minutes, this process literally, as soon as the crystals are gone and the coconut is melted, then this will form a softball stage. You will then want to, once you've combined all those ingredients well in the pan like we just demonstrated, you want to throw this pan in the refrigerator and leave it in there for about 20 to 30 minutes, and you can go in and stir it every 10-15 minutes or so to make sure that things are all uniform and that the heavier ingredients haven't sunk to the bottom and the liquid to the top. But essentially, this is what it looks like when it comes out of the refrigerator. We then simply cut this into 1.5 to 2-inch squares, and it makes about 20 squares, and you can see that there's leftovers on the outside ring of this, which are little smaller pieces, but it'll make about 20 full-size pieces. This is really delicious. It's only 0.1 grams of net carbs per square, makes a delicious treat, and the recipe you see at the bottom of the screen here, just go to our website and you can find the recipe there. Now, lessons learned today. Well, number one, it takes only about 10 minutes to make or less, counting, divvying up the ingredients, putting them in the pan, and actually making this fudge-like process. About 10 minutes, and then another 30 minutes until it's ready to serve after it's been refrigerated, and including time to cut it up. This particular treat will keep your blood sugar stable, unlike any other carbohydrate treat that's very high in carbohydrates, and you will enjoy this very delicious dessert without it wreaking havoc on your body. Whether you're living low carb or not, this fudge is really easy, it's gluten-free and sugar-free. So it's a great treat whether you are embracing a low-carb lifestyle or ketogenic lifestyle or not. If you are eating a ketogenic diet, this is a great treat that will supply your body with a delicious, healthy fat source for fuel. The key to keto fudge, or they're also called fat bombs. If you Google how to make these various types of recipes, you can look up keto fudge or keto bombs or fat bombs. The key is to keep them extremely low in carbohydrates, so they are primarily fat, and generally it's coconut oil that is used as the fat source. You can add protein powder, other types of nuts. I made this with soy because I like the crunch of the textured vegetable protein, which is also very low in carbs, lower than nuts. But you can use nuts or seeds if you like. You can add protein powders. You can add peanut butter, any other nut butter. You can vary this however you like. Varying this recipe does not change the consistency of the fudge. You want to keep this refrigerated until you're ready to serve it because coconut oil melts above 72 degrees. All right, folks, hope you've learned a bit on how to make some delicious sweet treats that won't make your blood sugar go up, and we will see you next time on Libby's Low Carb Lounge.